Hello, Nexo Development League. My name is Rock, and I'm here doing a VOD review. So this one here is from Game 1 of the Tuesday nights, or sorry, not Game 1, Series 1 of the Tuesday night group. And so it looks like it is two known teams compared to some of the randoms that we have. This is 30 Seconds to Mosh versus Bunker Funtime, it appears, if I'm reading those acronyms correctly. So this one here is Infernal Shrines. So we will be trying to do a little bit of both teams here as we go. As we're jumping in here to game number 1, or the VOD review number 1. One of the things that you can see here is both teams have elected very different strategies for this map, and that's actually a lot of fun when it's done this way. I'll just follow around the tank just for now, just to make it easy. So, one of the things you have to watch for, that you're looking for Infernal Shrines, is the 3 different types of win conditions. Every team, as you're loading in, should be looking for a win condition. And so you might be saying to yourself, Rock, what are you talking about? There's 3 different types of general win conditions. You can break them into team fight, macro, or I would say objective. And so as we're kind of looking in and rotating in through this game, you can kind of almost see which the different types that the teams went for. And so a big hint on what potentially the teams decided to go for is by looking at key heroes for what help you decide what win condition for your map. So looking at this, you can see that the blue team has selected Alexstrasza. And so Alexstrasza is a healer that typically isn't seen very often, and the fact that it is seen here tells you that they want to fight for the objective. Alexstrasza is a ginormous buff to Blue's team's ability to not only clear the objective, but also being able to heal and fight on the objective. Her dragon form is almost like a second ultimate, and so Red team, when drafting in, not sure when Alexstrasza was picked, but if you see Alexstrasza, you can see that that's part of their game plan, is they want to fight for the objective. And so in the same way, Red team actually, depending on how early one of their heroes was picked, revealed a lot of what their team's win condition is. This team wants to team fight. They picked Kel'Thuzad. If you pick Kel'Thuzad, you want to team fight. Kel'Thuzad's strength is in his ability to team fight and to get stacks and to displace and get kills. So both teams have very clear, or at least strengths as far as win conditions go. So we'll have to see if we actually play into those win conditions and how we do as we're going through and playing them. So first things first, with blue team having an emphasis on the objective, they're actually playing this quite well. An objective-based team doesn't want to necessarily take tons of early game fights and doesn't necessarily want to be pushing and doing a whole bunch of stuff. They want to keep things at essentially steady state, right? They want to keep things, I'll say, status quo. Whatever the enemy team is doing, they want to be at least matching, because their emphasis and where they want to throw all over their buttons and make all of the big plays is at the objective, right? And so you can see here we've kind of both done each other's camps, and we're trying to also get this bottom camp done if we can. Looks like with the objective starting that we decided not to. Or no, we're going to try and quickly get it done before the objective starts. The red team has elected to get the top camp to be able to push while the objective is going, which can be a huge advantage, especially since the first objective doesn't tend to get a lot. So, so far everything looking pretty good, like I said, as far as blue team goes, and I really like this. I was about to say, if you can, red team might want to try and force the issue with Sylvanas, since we see that they're not answering. Raka here is really in trouble and is going to need help clearing this camp, especially if they continue to go here. But that's one of the brilliancies of their strategy, is an objective-based comp like blue team is. They don't technically need Blaze, right? They have lots of wave clear and shrine clear in the Alexstrasza and the Tassadar, being able to clump them up with Joanna. Looks like they're pretty much executing their composition as ideal. So once we're almost done here, let's see if red team is able to make something happen. But so far, okay, I was going to say the dragon needs to come out a little bit earlier, but that seems to be fine. We should be able to heal through all of the damage that's being output here. So it's looking pretty good, and blue team wins the objective, which is what their composition was meant to do. Okay. We'll watch this last little bit here and see if something happens. So it looks like that's a good Junkrat bomb on the KTZ, so KTZ is going to fall, and then red team is going to have to run away. That's a really good stun from Raka, but people weren't ready for it. Unfortunate. make sure to call that a little bit more, Raka, if we're looking for more, or if your tank or whoever's the shot caller is calling, let's set up for the objective. Let's make sure we're ready set for the objective. That was a good stun, but if the team's not ready, then we're like burning resources and potentially not having things ready for when the Punisher lands. Right, the biggest thing we just used here is the Junkrat bomb, which it should be back up here in a second. But let's say that the Punisher jumps on somebody right now in the next 2 seconds, and we want to be able to kill that person. Junkrat's bomb would be a great follow-up, or the Tassadar wall, right? And so both of those tools are on cooldown right now. So if we want to follow up on this Punisher jump, we may not be able to. So just being able to communicate little things like that on we want to follow up on the Punisher, or we're looking for kills outside of the Punisher. So honestly, blue team executed that really well. They played for the objective. They got their objective, right? That's what they wanted. This is their win condition, is win every single objective using Alex Straza and Tassadar Joe wave clear, with Junkrat being able to snipe in those last few and to try and zone them off the point, right? So to me, that was played really well. So let's back up for a second and let's just look at red team. So red team, like I said, their win condition is team fights, and they don't mind team fighting on the objective. But I guess my question is what happened? We were so far ahead top here, right? If we're playing for this shrine, if we actually want to fight for this shrine as a team fight, right, our strength in our team fight is going to come from the blow-up lockdown that happens from KTZ and May lonking all their abilities together. How is KTZ doing on his stack so far? KTZ only has 3 stacks right now, so this isn't good. So we've been using all of our time to get stacks on this KTZ. We need to make sure that we're hitting them. Right? If KTZ is being forced to wave clear, then we have a problem, because this number should be, we need strong numbers, bigger stocks. All right? This is too low. For being 3 minutes in and only having 3 stacks, we're not utilizing or empowering our KTZ. Sure, blue team might be doing well in not coming to waves or not giving you lots of stacking opportunities, but that means that you guys should be aggressively pushing with your Sylvanas and your Rehgar clear, right? You guys have really strong wave clear between Rehgar and Sylvanas alone. So we should be trying to get things pushed to where KTZ is given stack opportunities because they have to answer. So I would like to see red team here before this first objective. You guys are the team fight comp. Sure, you guys get some scary team fight at 10 too, with potentially Entomb or the Ice Blast or the Snowball. Like, there's some cool wombo combos, but if we're knowingly giving this shrine, right? Like if I back up here real quick to where Sylvanas was top, right? I think it was right here. Yeah. Okay. So right here, we'll switch to red team vision for a second, right? You guys rotate. I thought. You guys rotated all the way up here to support this camp. Just do it, right? At least the Sylvanas plus Leo, maybe one more. You could leave Joe or the May, right? Like, if you guys are going to commit to this push, do it. Like, take the thing down. Sylvanas doesn't have trait. It has trait in 1 second. Right? You probably stepped up a half a second too early there, Exorcist, because you didn't have your trait up. But, like, you guys need to make a call as far as, like, are we actually trying to enable this camp with a push? Because you could. Like, we didn't take the Sylvanas trait here to, or the talent on 4 to push with the camps to make them push harder, but you don't have to. Just, if you're going to rotate the team up to do something, do it. Right? Like, you guys need to find team fights, or you need to find macro pressure with your Sylvanas. Like, we got all the way up here, and sure, Raka is really low, right, to this Leo, but ignoring the objective for now, what do we get for this? We rotated our whole team up, and we didn't push this camp, right? So this got half a wall from our full team rotating up and taking that camp. Their camp down here plus their pressure, right? Like, they've been putting pressure down here on this lane. They've got the whole bottom wall, and they're now halfway up to the objective. And Leo had to back, or Leo wanted to back because Leo doesn't have mana. So we pretty much cannot fight for this. The objective-based comp is going to have level 20s. So as the team fight comp and or early game scaling, let's get off that noise. On the early game scaling in KTZ needs to be getting stacks. So we need to be finding opportunities to get KTZ stacks. So even if we acknowledge we're not going to win this objective, KTZ needs to be getting stacks. So like right here, there we go. So KTZ, oh, we kind of blindly pulled our chain without knowing where they were. But like, we need to be finding ways to get stacks here, right? Because we still, like I said, we're at 4 stacks almost at 3 minutes. So then as a team, we also need to be talking about when are we fighting or what should we be fighting. We're currently, if we're trying to team fight right now, we're taking a 4v4 without a Leoric, right? No, low mana on Sylvanas, and KTZ's combo is just now coming back up. So like right now we should be looking to fight because KTZ has combo. We kind of missed the combo. I'm not sure which direction that chain went, but just trying to help like chain towards the damage of where they are. And so now that we see how healthy they are, Leo's here, right? But it's kind of too late. Like they need 7, you need 25. Like this is no longer a winning opposition or point of contention. So if we wanted to fight for this objective, we needed to get here earlier. And if we wanted to specifically split push, we needed to commit to the split push, right? Whoops, get out of there, KTZ. Right? So just little things, right? Like I don't think this is necessarily you guys did anything terrible. They did what they wanted to do from the get-go, right? I called it they're an objective-based comp, and that's what they did. Okay, we'll speed up through Hiss. We kind of stayed a little bit too long now. We are low on resources, and then the Junkrat Bomb displaces and gets a kill. So that's just going to happen. And so, okay, so let's see how do we defend, Red. Now that we're behind, we're running low, how exactly we do defend this? So one thing you always have to ask yourself is who's going to take the first Punisher jump, right? So if the Punisher's coming up, you want to make sure normally someone who has either an unstoppable frame or something that can eat the Punisher jump without getting killed. Because if the Punisher leaps on somebody, usually the enemy team is going to follow up on it. And this particular Punisher being a Mortar Punisher, right? Like you are going to take a lot of damage. So we need to be aware of who's going to take the Punisher jump. So if Rhaegar was intentionally planning to take the Punisher jump, it worked out because the bomb didn't land, right? Remember how I told you before, blue team, that if you wanted to follow up on that Punisher jump, you wanted to make sure you had the mine available. And so just between the two teams, weren't ready to be able to punish the fact that Puff Dog ate that jump. I don't know if he's the ideal target to jump there. I would have rather have Mei take the jump and then tank it with her Cryo Freeze. So that way your Rhaegar's not sitting at 700 health. But I digress. Okay, next jump is coming again. The jump happens every 15 seconds. You should be aware of when the jump's about to happen. If the jump is about to happen, once again, who should take the jump? Now that Leo's here, Leo should take the jump. Leo can tank it with his Ghost Walk E and make it to where no one gets stunned and people can be safe. This is very dangerous for Puff Dog right here because if Puff Dog gets jumped, he's right next to the bomb. So Leo did take the jump, but didn't time the E or didn't think he needed to, didn't feel he was in danger, whatever it may be. And so we're clearing this objective. And overall, we were able to only lose 1 fort, which, you know, that's a pretty good first objective for the blue team. Most of the time when objective is well defended, you know, lose half of a fort. But the whole wall was already dead from their earlier pushing and their earlier siege camp that they got. And so that made sure that this chip damage got that building. So, way to cut our losses, Red. We're not too far behind. Obviously, there's nothing else we can do here. So, as Red Team, what do we want to do? How do we come back? Right? Like, this is not the end of the world. We're only down a level, and they have 1 fort. So, something you should be always thinking about is what's next and how do we get to our win condition, how do we get to our power spike. And so I'm going to check back in here on Red in a little bit, but my first thought is that we need to get to 10 and we need to start finding opportunities to take team fights, right? Like we have a lot of wave clear in our Sylvanas and in our Rhaegar and in our Leoric. So we shouldn't be behind on waves. We should be able to have waves even or ahead, right? They have really good wave clear in their Tassadar. E-build, Alex Straza has really strong wave clear too. This is Incinerator Gauntlets, so they actually out wave clear you despite taking several wave clear heroes, and that might be part of why you're feeling like you're behind and having to run all the way around the map to support things. So just at this point, we need to turtle up, get to 10. This camp is probably gone, but you might be able to get stacks, and so we need to get this KTZ stacked. 5 stacks is not enough. So, all right. So that's what red team should be working on. Well, actually, we'll just stay here real quick since they are invading your camp. Or at least you think they're invading your camp. Feel free to throw the snowball. Oh, that's dangerous. Okay. If you think they're on your camp, Peldor, you wait for the snowball. Right? You had your snowball up. Feel free to throw your snowball here. Because you tried to E through it, and just like several other characters, like Diablo and Blaze, everything interrupts your E. So you need to make sure that if you're going to be E-ing forward, now you have no way out. And your team is isolated from the bomb. So obviously they're not on you. That's a really good... Oh, that was really close. That was a good attempt there, Ninja, or JT. So now they're going to take this, right? They are working on their camp first. They're going to push in as 5, potentially. We're okay taking a team fight in a choke, right? That gives lots of opportunities for stacks. That gives lots of opportunity for damage. The biggest thing you have to watch out for is displacement. And then, like, the Blizzard works well to help zone. It looks like Leo's coming down to either answer mid or to help. If you had to guess, where's Blaze, right? Blaze isn't here answering the wave. So Blaze is either already on the camp or Blaze is down here. So red needs to be aware. We're going to cheat. Where's Blaze? 3, 2, 1. It's on the camp. So, yeah. Just you could kind of guess just because they haven't shown here. So, I don't know if Leo's going to the Blaze or Leo's coming to the team. But either way. All right, let's see real quick how we handle this camp invade, and then we'll probably switch back to blue team vision. Hildur's going to live. The anti-heal there is kind of hurt. So, you're probably still dead here. Unfortunate. Yeah, and then Puff Dog dies trying to save you. Yep, well placed mine there. So we kind of like overstayed here when we didn't get anything done. We're still down in XP level. Like, if we really were worried about them taking this camp, we can just use our vision tools to know when they start going there, instead of, like, dancing around and not getting stacks and things. So, unfortunate. So now they get this camp for free, and we just need to catch up on XP. So, we're going to try and make the best out of it, right? We're going to go find an opportunity. No, Exorcist is just here to try and help clear the wave. Oh, yeah, I guess put some damage out. Okay. So, Joe and them found the bottom. Okay, yeah, we need 10s. So the blue team has 10s. That means blue can do whatever they want. They're getting that bottom camp. Yep. And then red's trying to put pressure top on that Blaze. Some good pressure on the Blaze, honestly. I don't think you can get a kill there. But we're cleaning stuff up. We're almost 10s. I'll speed up the game real quick. We'll just get to 10s. They're going to push. All right, we made it to 10s. Hooray. This is where the game turns around. Yep, you can do camp and stuff. That's fine. They're ahead on. So right now you have no vision of where anyone on their team is. Red team, right? Like they were last seen in this, southern region down here. So it's like, so one of the things that's going to be tough about this objective is we need to get to the objective on time, which we have plenty of time to do, and we want to try and take a fight, right? If we can get a blow-up pick, especially using our KTZ stuff, that'd be wonderful. You've got Silencing Arrow to help shut down abilities. You've got the Snowball to help set things up. You've got Entomb, which should help KTZ. So let's see how well we land our combos here to win this team fight. We need to win a team fight, or we're going to be falling pretty far behind. So we have vision now of a few, right? And Blaze is top. This is a great time. If we can find and engage, right, without killing ourselves, this is a great time to take a fight. So we kind of W'd there early. KTZ missed his combo, so make sure you guys are communicating. I don't have combo. That's a great 3-man arrow if we had something to follow up on it, right? Like, this is huge. This is huge amount of damage. You just shut down their team. Every single player on their team is now can't push buttons for, what, 3 seconds? Right? 2.5 seconds. Right? This is a huge arrow where we're just not on the same page on what we're supposed to be doing. Okay. So now we're going to be taking... So... Being the team fight comp, we're now taking a team fight down an ult. Or down a heroic and ult. So we really need to be careful that we're able to still find an advantage. So Blaze is still clearing top. So you guys still, even though you don't have an ult, you guys have the number advantage to still make something happen. So what's our engage? Who is the engage for red team? Because we need to find an engage. In my opinion, it's going to be either Entomb or a zoning where someone steps out of position and then May gets like a like a blizzard boop type of thing here, like blizzards and then slide boops, and then maybe can get like a sneaky snowball, like if he comes up and around on this side. So. There's an Entomb. Are we able to make this work? There's the damage. Oh, it's so close, but no. Okay. We're a team fight comp. We've used all of our ults outside of Snowball. We didn't get a kill, unfortunately. This is probably where we have to run. Dragon's out, so they're going to continue to win the Shrine. If we can't find a kill, we're probably just going to feed. So, yeah, we had an opportunity there, and we just didn't sync up our ults properly. And props to blue team here. They're able to get their dragon out and get their stuff. One thing to watch out for, blue team, if you're going to use the rocket ride as like a combo type of thing, if it doesn't instantly trade 1-for-1 when you do your rocket ride, you have a very good chance of actually hurting your team fight, because then you just removed yourself from the fight. As fast as Junkrat can return to the fight, you are now out of the fight for 5 seconds, right? Or more. 5 seconds or more, depending on where you used your rocket ride. So just something to be aware of, that if you guys are expecting more damage, just imagine Junkrat died when he uses that. Okay, so once again, who's going to tank this? Don't share the Punisher, right? Especially on top of a Frozen. Okay, jump's coming again. Who's tanking it? Okay, that's fine. Rhaegar, you have a cool little trick, actually, that you can, if you bite while that's jumping at you, you can actually dodge it. Alright, we lived. Okay, despite our failed attempt there at a team fight, we're still in this game. So, well done, way to survive, way to not take too many damage or losses. And blue team continues to do what their team comp was designed to do, which is win every objective. Okay, it looks like we're looking top to maybe try and gank Blaze. If we're trying to gank Blaze, we maybe showed too much there. Okay, so now this is a dangerous play. If we full-on base trade, right, this fort is not worth as much as this keep. So we can't overcommit to a base trade here. So I like how Rhaegar's TPing. See, unfortunately, they got us all the TP, and that's where it's difficult. Oh, May, you almost had it. That trap was really well played there. Where's our Junkrat player? What's your name? Captain, well done. That's a great trap. That trap just saved your team from getting snowballed. Or maybe not. Maybe Peldor's still going to get it. Oh, Peldor tried really hard. If that trap was not there, this is a great opportunity. But as soon as you get trapped here, Peldor, you just need to disengage. You scared them off already, just you being there. But now you're kind of stuck on an island and just not able to make the play. So, luckily they did not chase. Oh, don't kill yourself. Oh, that was so close. Yeah, just go back the other way. You had time. So, silence to push them off. I guess it's okay. Can we save this building? We're down a player. They're sieging pretty hard. They're up 3 levels. If we need to commit to saving this building, like if this is what you want to do is to save this building, Leo needs to come down. Oh, and Leo used Entomb versus Blaze's bunker. Yeah. This is one of those things where it sucks, but like when you're losing this hard, you guys have to make dramatic plays. Like, you know what I mean? Like if they're forcing the issue, you're going to have to respond in some way, shape, or form. You can cut your losses and say, we're cutting our losses here, and we're just going to soak, or we're cutting our losses because we're down so much, and we're going to push for, like, their camp, or we're going to do something. But when it starts talking about keep and, like, structure damage or core damage, it's really hard to justify not bringing Leo down, as Leo is your other strong engage tool. So, just something to think about. But Leo and Blaze are sitting there killing each other, and so, of course, they get this building after those kills. And, oh, that's unfortunate. Leo dies to Blaze. But that happens. Blaze is OP. So what are they doing? They're going to take your camp. So use the spooky ghost vision to check. Yep. All right, we're down 14-16. We have all ults up almost. We're just missing Snowball and Entomb. We're super split here. You've got Exorcist pushing in on the far right. You've got Puff Dog on the far left. You've got Peldor in the middle, and you've got KTZ back here. This is very split, right? Like, what is the engage? What's the call? If Peldor's trying to snowball, right, we need 5 seconds. So, like, Peldor should be screaming, I'm snowballing the point, I'm snowballing the point. And so if we're going to snowball the point, we need the body to step on it, which would be either Leo or Peldor. We probably want, like, KTZ a little bit closer, and then Exorcist is probably just a little bit too far forward because now there's no peels, there's no heals, right? Like, look at our... Like, can I back up any further in the zoom? Like, if we look at just how we're positioned, right? You usually want to be in some sort of crescent moon shape. Like, actually, this is really well played from Born as far as, like, positioning as the healer, right? Born's put the heal where he wants it to go. Born's also in a position where she cannot get dived, as Alexstrasza here. Captain's trying to control the flanks by putting stuff down and getting vision. I'm guessing we walk through a trap or two over here. Joe is trying to peel off the zone, and then Blaze is here as a secondary body, right? Like, this is much cleaner. Like, this terrain is messing with the captain, but everything else is much cleaner as far as their engage and direction versus where we're positioned. Exorcist might get blown up here, and there's nothing Puff Dog can do just because we took the fight in this different angled. Yeah. So, and we need to finally getting some stacks on KTZ. There we go. There's the snowball. Oh my goodness. Is this the play? Oh no, you snowballed away! The camp's not worth it! Oh my gosh. Chaos. Chaos. Let's rewatch that one more time. One more time. Chaos. Okay. Sylvanas gets picked from a good Blaze and Entomb a Tassadar wall here, right? Okay. So blue is taking their advantage since they're up a player to push. They're up a talent tier, up a player. They're forcing the issue. I like this. You want to force the issue when you're ahead in some way, shape, or form. Okay. Based on how we're doing this, though, your team is looking for two different things. Blue team. Either fight for the camp or fight the people. Don't split. Okay. Sylvanas is attacking, and Raka does the... Sub-Zero and Raka work well together to kill this Exorcist killed. So Sylvanas gets deleted for pushing up so far. Okay. At this point, we need to commit to the fight. Look, we've got Snowball, we've got Black Hole. Everything is right on target here. But Captain's too far away to do any damage support. Ancestral doesn't make it. The four of you do not need to be on the point to capture this, right? This is where it turns. All four of you don't need to be here. Just only need to put Joe with the Unstoppable on there. Put the trap further up this way, and then put the Junkrat bomb on the point if you're worried about losing it. Don't. So you've even got, it's close. The Junkrat bomb needs to be just a little bit further here to help secure this point. And then May's slide here is a little far. Like, I think you were trying to wombo off of your ice ball. Just hit what's in front of you. Like, there's no way you're gonna catch them for how far away that was. And unfortunately, you get punished for it. And so, Born to Shrine's the only one left alive. And yep, almost ninja. So yeah, that ended up being a 3 for 3 after all was said and done. And so, you know who that favors? The team that's behind. Because your deaths are worth more than the other teams. So, all right, red team, let's see how we come back here. So they started the shrine. They're 15 up, 16 up on the shrine, 20 up on the shrine. That's okay. We just got to... Okay, as I say, you got to get here. We got to take a team fight before they win it. As soon as they win it, it's going to be a pain. So you need to get at least 3 kills here. Even if you don't win the objective, you need to get 3 kills here before the objective's captured, or you're going to be in really big trouble. Bottom's starting to push with the catapult pressure, and then you're going to have to, like, this fort is essentially dead because of if they win the Punisher. And so you're going to have to defend at your keep. So let's see if we are able to make something happen here, red team. So 1 for 1. Watch out for the arcane. I'm not going to break that whole team fight down, but you, red team, you engaged in 3 different areas. The silencing arrow and the ice ball and the entomb were all on 3 different things. So we might need to work on communicating what is our engage or who's the primary engage. Not that you can't have multiple, but just communicating that, you know, Leo is saying, I'm looking for an entomb. Right? Something along those lines. That way you know what you're looking for or trying to do. Punisher's about to jump again. We stayed too long. Great Ancestral. Looks like you're going to live. Hey, that's a great punish of an overextension, right? There's no reason to chase that far when they can get this building for free. So, right, Raka, if you want to be following up on the Punisher stun, that's different. Don't be chasing with a raw E. You want to oil an E, and you can get that stun for free off of this. That's the stuns you want to be saving your charge for. Oh my gosh, this game goes on forever, doesn't it? Yeah, this game goes to 20. Okay, so you guys lost only 1 more fort. So despite how far behind we are, red team, you are still in this game. So, and blue team, you keep up the good work. You're winning every objective, which is what your composition is designed to do. And so it's working. Okay, so the team fight comp is down a level, and they're trying now to force the objective top. No? Okay, we changed. We keep rotating as 5 all over the map. I wouldn't say for no purpose, but like, just it's like, what are we getting out of this? What are we achieving? This is a little dangerous, Joe. That's a great snowball. All right, they shielded. Like you can this is safe. You're still safe here, right? Snowball hit only 1. This is super disorienting on the fight. Entomb hits Raka. That's why Bunker's good or Blaze is good into Leo. Oh, we should not be turning back in for another fight. Oh no. Okay, we lived. All right. When you got 4 people sub 50% health, try not to turn back into their team. we bush checked correctly with the snowball. I would have preferred to be from this angle instead of this angle, just because you're further away and the terrain interrupts with how you can get away. But we did find them and we lived, right? They blew all of their ults and killed no one. We still have Ancestral, right? But we threw all of ours to make sure to live. Okay. So now that they're 20s, they're going to try and force the issue again, whether it be the mid or this top camp. It looks like they're going top camp based. Oh, no, they're mid. Okay. I just, it looked like Junk was looking up this way. Maybe just to put a trap down. Okay. They're pretty much just going to sit here and whittle you down. They're going for that camp. Yep. Good. Bush check again, Peddler. Or Peldor, sorry. Again, good bush check. Right? We don't have... Okay. Did you already use your Blizzard, Peldor, here? Okay. So, do you have icing? Is that why you engage so deep? You don't have icing. Okay. So, you're engaging deep. Like, yes, you have a D. Yes, you have backup battery. You're engaging deep into them, which makes it hard for your people to set up stuns and things, right? Like this is the 3rd time I think I've seen you E right through them, and it just puts you in a position that's further away from your team, rather than like using it to combo with your Blizzard. A lot of the time, Mei wants to be putting Blizzard down and then Eing people into the Blizzard. All right, let's slow this down. Entomb is good. Joe's gonna live. Zero almost died. That's a good stun from Raka. Science Arrow's a little late, or maybe it's just for peels. I don't know. Okay, so because we just lost a player, they should get 90% of the objective for free. 25 seconds on May. No, they probably get all the objective for free. We'll just speed up. We'll see. Maybe not. They took this camp. Oh, they still get it. Yeah, I was like, they took this camp, so maybe you can get one more chance, but no. May just rezzed. Yep. So you could argue that this isn't worth fighting, right? Like if we quickly back up, we're 19 versus 20. We can clear a camp. We have Sylvanas, we have Joe, we have all the tools, right? We don't need to take this fight into blue when they have the level 20 advantage. If they make a misstep and are out of position, sure. But like we could be soaking right here and getting 20. So that way we're ready to fight at the shrine 20 versus 20 instead of giving them a shrine that's going to go towards our core. Because if we win this team fight, right? Sure, we win this team fight, we can win the next objective. Or if technically, if you guys win this team fight and 5-man wipe them, Sylvanas and friends should go right up to this building and start knocking it down and trying to get back into the game. Because you need a keep open. You can't win the game unless a keep is down. So, yeah, you have a long way to come back. And so this fight here would help you win this shrine, but I don't know if this fight's worth it being down 20 versus 19. So, yeah. So we'll speed back up again, since we already know what happens. So they win the objective, and then we try to defend it. Okay. So on defense here, our best chance to defend the objective is going to be probably by pulling it up this way towards the building. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, you guys can pull the Punisher, and the programming will actually go after this building and focus fire this building instead of going to the core in this lane. So we really want to make sure that we pull it. So like we should be pulling this north right here. We want to be fighting up here, so that way it's on the building and not fighting below us, right? So I'm guessing based on your position, you guys didn't know this. So what you want to do next time is especially if they give you the space, Leoric stands here, right? As soon as the Punisher jumps, Leoric hits Spooky Ghost, and Spooky Ghost's right up here. So the Punisher will jump and attack this, and then chase Leoric's Spooky Ghost up to here. And because of that, it will then aggro to what's the nearest thing. So as long as all of you guys are sitting here attacking it and punching it, it will start attacking this building instead of walking back towards your core. So it will buy you some time, as well as it will enable them to get hit by the building as well as the core. And even on this core defense, where do we want to be standing? We want to be standing on this side, so that way they have to be worried about the tower aggro. We don't want to be standing over here on this side where there's no support. Alright, here's our core defense. Let's see how we do. Okay, Leo gets eaten again. Unstops late. Silencing Entomb is great here. That was 2. Oh, no. We saw the same thing. That was a... Oh, that hurts. I'm sorry, Peldor. I'm sorry, Mercs. That Entomb, 2-man Silencing Entomb with all of the KTZ buttons on top of it and the silencing buttons ready to go. That was it. That's a clean double kill. And we accidentally snowballed them at the same time because we saw the clump. And now we die. That's a good Ancestral. You'll save most of your players. You don't really want to... Oh, Punisher. John Cena. Oh my gosh, Pelder, you almost lived through that. John Cena had your name. And that's game. Doggo died. Yep. Dun, 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 dun. Yep, John Cena's going to get one more. Dun, 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 dun. GG's. All right. So, that was actually a very good game. It was not... It feels like, probably, on the side of red team here, it feels very one-sided. It probably feels like we just got beaten and raked over the coals. But honestly, it's tiny things. That is, like, all of this game, to me, was just tiny things for how do you want to execute your win condition. I did not see when KTZ finished his stacks, but early game, his stacks was way too low. So we need to be making sure that if we're going to take a hero like KTZ that's requiring to get stacks on enemy heroes, that we get those stacks. Sure, they might try to dodge you, they might try and run away from you, but you need to find those stacks. If we are team fight comp and we want to fight them, we need to present ourselves with opportunities to fight. Right? We cannot be coming to the objective 20, 30 skulls behind. Right? We have to be getting to the objective on time so we can find that team fight. If we're trying to be a split push macro team by using the Sylvanas to push trait, we need to commit to it. The only damage you have on all of these, look, none of these buildings are hurt except top. You guys took that early game camp here, the first camp of the game. Between that and Leo, that got 90% of this dead. If you guys would have just full-on committed and put all 5 people to take out this building, you guys probably trade this building and this building, and you're fine for that first objective, instead of rotating everybody down here to this objective that was already lost. And then we ended up giving like a kill or 2 because of the Junkrat shenanigans. So, yeah, I think it's little things, just like that. I think if you guys execute your combos a little bit tighter, right, whether it be Entomb first, then KTZ stuff, or May booping people back into the Blizzard and then throwing all of our buttons at it, I think you guys have this. That was not that far off. And blue team, well done. You guys played your win condition, which was win every objective. And that's what you did. You won every objective. You were ahead on macro because of the heroes you picked, and so you were able to get all of the camps, right? If we do a quick breakdown real quick at XP and camp stuff, right? Look at these mercs. 5x the number of mercs, right? That's all because you guys were able to macro and get it done. So, all right, this is going way too long, but I'll quickly look at talents. So, dragon stuff, all E build. I'm not an Alex Draza main, but all E build. You go all E, that's fine. Yeah, you probably need this. It's the only way you die. Yep, I like this because you're going to be in dragon form a lot, and then you took dragon form. Yep, exactly. Okay, I'm good with that. Mana cooldowns for more stuns. You probably don't need... I actually... No, you have bunker, so you're fine. Yeah, that's fine. Incendiary gauntlets, yep. Reduce attack speed. I would have taken the spell one here, Raka, where your jet flames reduce spell damage. Most of their damage is spell damage, especially with a stacking Sylvanas W. So, yep, I agree with that. This is yep. See, oh, heal for the damage dealt. You were fighting a lot of 1v1s. This talent's situational to me. I think I would have... I have to back up the replay because it's at the end. So, I was going to say, Juggernaut plating, it's an extra button, so that might be hard or intimidating to use. But I was like, the only way you die is if you get like blown up by KTZ. So I'm like, this looks great. And then more E's, more better. Right? You were landing a bunch of killer E's. This one here is deceptively underwhelming, but if you use it correctly, you get a ton of healing. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can message me about this, but I've seen Blazes use their D on an entire minion wave and get almost an ancestral healing's worth of healing. Because this is damage to anything, not just heroes. But if you only use it in team fights, it's very hard to get value because how often are you standing next to 4 or 5 heroes getting Pyromania damage? So, we can talk, but I would say I would have rather seen one of these two this game, unless you needed to heal off of a wave type of thing. Joe. Yep. I don't have a problem with Sins Exposed. I'm just going to say that mathematically speaking, since it's the only source of healing reduction that you have, so I understand why you took it. And it's into Rhaegar, so if you can stop the Ancestral from being value, that's great. It's just 35% doesn't seem to do much. Does this version tell me how much healing reduction was done? I don't think. I'd have to go into the Spazzo UI. I don't think I actually have it here for what... Yeah, I can't see it. But more or less, if the if the healing reduction is lower than 40 or 50%, Cav Guess tends to say that this is not worth it. And the movement speed here on Condemn is pretty sweet. Rest is perfect. TAS went W build, which is fine. E, AA range. Yeah, I guess you can take the range to be safe. There's not tons of threats. Black hole, feedback, percent health. Sure. I've never seen anyone use Kale's gift efficiently. I would have taken the bigger walls, the electric fences, longer range, less cooldown electric fences, create some more plays and opportunities for you. But maybe it's worth. I've not seen it used well. I would have to do the math on this. All right, red team, real quick. All right, May, your build is all over the place. You took more Qs, but I'm not sure what you're blinding. Like, you're trying to blind AA TAS. Okay, cool. But AA TAS didn't happen. You should have seen at level 1 it wasn't AA TAS. So this doesn't make sense to me. I would have rather seen the other two snow talents. And then Crystallize here, Spell Armor. Yes, 100%. There are a lot of spell damage, right? Tassadar spell damage, Junkrat ability damage. So that's fine. This doesn't make sense to me. I don't actually think... Remove all roots and slows. Right? Are you using this to proactively move out of the roots? Right? Are you walking into into Junkrat traps and then blowing your button? Because that seems like not a good trade, especially in a 70-second cooldown. I like heat transfer at 1. I think this is fine because of the spell damage. I would have loved to have seen either the icing away or the reduces damage. Like, I understand why you picked it, because it's like you needed the extra healing, and like it makes you more hard to kill. But like it just, I'm not sure, besides just being another button, if it got much, especially since Joe took the stupid anti-healing talent. Avalanche or Ice Wall, that's fine, user's preference. Sure. Okay, I don't think it matters. I like this one, just because it recovers your stuff faster. So, and you get a flat out just a slow. Every time you attack, you now have a slow, compared to slowing if they happen to be standing next to you. So giving yourself a free range slow is pretty cool. This one here, I'm not sure what you needed the extra range for to blind. Like, I understand maybe you wanted it for scouting, but I would have liked to see Black Ice here. Like, you eat in so many times with where Black Ice would have just flat out slowed them. That's a huge slow. And then you took this because you needed to live. I understand. Obviously, if you weren't so far behind and you weren't getting instantly blown up, full snowball build, take the big one. If not, Shatter upgrade's really good. So I know you didn't take that, but I don't do KTZ things very often, but shields, ice spike, fissure. More or less, you just need to work on getting your stacks early game, making sure your team's supporting you in that. Consume vitality is wrong. Okay, Leo. Leo. One of these two instead, please. Unless you're main tank Leo, this does not make sense. Take one of these two. You literally get free heals when your minions die with this one. It makes it to where you have so much sustainability. You get health and mana for free when minions you just happen to be near when they die. And then Osen is really good too to heal, like to be ready for, because you can reduce the cooldown by getting globes, which of course as double soaking you're gonna be getting globes. So you can use this to stay topped off and healthy and to avoid ganks. So I don't like this one if you're not main tank Leo. You definitely don't need this. Yeah, it's almost like you're playing main tank Leo instead of offlane Leo. So if you take Neo Peasants here, this works on the minions in your shrine, which can help you get the shrine minions faster. The slow would have been good, because then you can actually get more of a slow. The swing range, there's not like you're going to hit more targets, right? Look how far back they are. Most of their team does not want to be standing next to you. So if you're hitting Q, you're going to hit the two people that you can hit, which is Joe and Blaze. So you probably don't need this talent. I would have rather picked one of these two so your swing becomes more effective. Hope range, yes, that's correct. I think hope range is good into Joe. Into Joe specifically, hope range is good. Because once you get it on Joe, Joe can't get away from you. And two, my love, you went AAs into blinds. No. I do not like this. You probably could have went full E build if you're comfortable playing it, or you could have went W build just to make sure you get more W's off per team fight, keeping you alive, keeping you a little bit more healthy. Going full AA is really hard into blinds. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but your team fight impact will be less. If this gives you more wave clear and more uptime, I'm not an offlane master, so if that's what it is, then sure, do it. But to me, this looks like team fighting, and I would not have taken either one of these for team fight. I would have taken both W's or both E talents here. And then Buried Alive, definitely. You had a really good one right here. We're gonna watch it again. It was so good.
Enemy is attacking our core.
Watch this Entomb. Right there. It's beautiful. It's even in the red circle of the base. They're going to get frozen and take base damage. It's so good. We just didn't communicate. Because... it happens. Alright. Last talents. Rhaegar. Shield on one, maybe? I think the math tends to say that doesn't... unless you're going full shield build, I don't think this actually gets you anything. I think the other ones are usually more bang for the buck. I won't say that it's not never. Like obviously you completed the you didn't complete it. So you got a bonus 78 health and a bonus 39 mana this game from that talent. So it doesn't sound very effective to me. Versus getting either one of these would have been more effective. Right? You only got 78 health and 39 mana. Chain Heal's good. Yep, that's fine. Healing Totem's good too. Yep. Earthbind's good. Purge is good too. Ancestral's good. Tidal Wave makes sense. Yep, Earthgrass good. And yep, okay. Just something to think about. If you're going to go W build, you have to go all Ws for this to get value. And I don't know how you get tons of value here. They're not super melee heavy. You're just going to be hitting Joe. Alright, last one. Sylvanas. Alright, Sylvanas. You honestly are probably the hardest person to build. Every build is valuable. Every build is good. I just don't know what the correct play is into Joe. So the way that you play Sylvanas, you need to make sure that you have 3 stacks of your Banshee's Curse, which is your trait. You need to have 3 stacks in your Banshee's Curse before you push any of your QWER buttons. Every time. You literally are going to get a 25% bonus in damage if you just auto-attack 3 times first. And you can be auto-attacking, like, as your third auto is about to connect, throw your dagger or push Q and get that bonus damage. But if you're not getting your 3 auto-attacks off, you're gimping yourself on your own damage. So try to practice that. And that directly impacts your level 1 talent here. Because it only gets a stack every time someone with 3 hits gets hit by your W. So if you were truly stacking for late game stacking damage potential, this is really low stacks again. Like both you and KTZ are stacking, and this is, you know, low stacks. 29 stacks, so you only did 14% bonus damage. Versus if you would have taken just Overwhelming Affliction, you do 1% of their maximum health, or you get 5% spell power up to 30% or 25% spell power. So your level 1 talent here at level 1 would effectively be more powerful than the amount of bonus damage that you get here at the end of the game because of how we stacked. So let's make sure that as we practice our stacks that we're doing 3 auto attacks and then throwing the dagger and focusing on pushing all of our buttons after 3 auto attacks. W build here is fine. If you want to clear, you can take that for clear. This is fine, right? This is how another way that you can get 3 stacks for an easy W, right? You throw your E and then you throw your W, and that's an easy stack. So that's fine with me. If you're going to go full dagger build, though, it's really hard to not take Lost Soul, right? Because Lost Soul means you get more daggers off, right? And so especially if you're going to go the armor rip here, and you're the only person on your team. KTZ can armor rip. Did he take it? No, he didn't take armor rip. Okay, since you're the only person on your team that can armor rip, I 100% agree with taking armor rip. So making sure that someone on your team has it. So since you're the only person that has it, potentially taking W here to get more stacks. Because the one thing about using your E forward for damage is that it also potentially gets you killed. Silencing Arrow is good. I'm not sure if Mind Control... This is hard. Your team had like a bunch of random engages, so it's hard for me to say Mind Control would be good because you don't have a consistent stun. But like level 20, you could fish with it. But obviously you don't want to count on getting to 20s. I like the Lost Armor. Since you went W builds everywhere else, this is good. Will of the Forsaken's good. It hopefully will save your life when you get chained. And then this down here is... I have to do the math on it. But if I remember... I'm going to actually open try mode real quick. So that particular talent, to get the bonus damage, is incredibly tiny. And I don't know if you know that. Or most people that play Sylvanas know that. It is actually not... The bonus damage part of that and the bonus silencing is so tiny.
You choose a talent. Choose a talent. Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
Okay.
Do not test my patience.
So I want to show you the bonus damage and the bonus healing. Okay. So this is going to be the arrow, right? So I'm going to be only looking at hitting the one target here. Okay. So that was... Right? It says... Gosh dang it. Turn off the stupid people. Go away. Go away. Okay. So once again, it says that enemies at the center of the explosion take 50% more damage and are silenced for twice as long, right? So 500 damage, taking 50% more should be putting you about 275 damage, right? So I'm going to blow it up. Oops. Okay, that was 500 damage, right? So for you to get the bonus damage, you see that circle? If it's not exactly in that circle, in the middle of a chaotic team fight, right? Like, I didn't even hit 2 players there. I cannot hit both of those players for the bonus damage or the bonus silence. It is very hard to get value out of that talent. I'm not saying it's impossible, but look how close. I hit a cool 3-man pack, and I cannot get. There we go. I did it once. Once out of the 12 tries there that I hit both of them for 750 damage. So, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying you got to practice that if that's really what you want. I would have probably taken Bolt this game. Just because you need to be able to live. And with all of the engages and stuff that they're happening, having Bolt would have probably been good. So, all right. Well, thank you guys. That's Nexo Development League. That went way longer, but technically that's 2 teams for 1. So even better. My name's Rock. If you have any questions, feel free to message me in the Discord, and I'll catch you next time.